Well, good morning, everyone. Lovely to see you again. I hope you're having a good week and looking forward to half term. I hope particularly you're able to get outside at the moment and enjoy the fantastic sunshine and heat and good weather that we are facing at the moment. At the same time, the last week or two has been quite frustrating, hasn't it? And I don't just mean like the other weeks that we've been doing this remote learning, but actually frustrating in that we're getting to the stage where we want to know what's going to happen next. We want to know when we're coming back to school. We want to know when we can see our friends again in larger groups. We want to know when we can go to the pub or a restaurant again or go to the cinema. And we don't know. And we want someone to take charge and tell us. So we'd love the headmaster to tell us when we're going back to school, and he'd love to tell us that as well. But we don't know yet. We have to wait to hear from the Department for Education. But they have to wait for the cabinet to make decisions, and they have to wait for the Prime Minister to give a lead, and he has to consult with other world leaders and the World Health Organization, and they're all wondering what Donald Trump's going to do next, and nobody really knows. We want someone to take charge, but of course the trouble with a virus like this is that we just don't know. And even those countries like New Zealand, which seem to have handled it really well, their borders are still closed. Their economy is only half working. And even there, nobody can say what's happening next. It's terribly frustrating, terribly annoying, isn't it? We'd love somebody to be in charge. Well, tomorrow is Ascension Day. It's the day in the Christian calendar when we remember that 40 days after Easter, so it's always the 6th Thursday after Easter Sunday, Jesus physically ascended back into heaven. Hebrews chapter 1 verse 3 tells us, after Jesus had provided purification for sins, he sat down at the right hand of the Majesty in heaven. He sat down at God's right hand. It is the sign that he is in charge. Now, in 1952, King George VI died, and instantly the Queen became Queen. That's how it works in this country. One monarch dies, the next monarch takes over straight away. But it was a year later, in 1953, that she had her coronation. She sat on the throne. She was publicly proclaimed as the Queen. And that's what's going on here in Hebrews 1. The Ascension is like Jesus' coronation. There is the Queen's chair that she sits in whenever she comes to Bangor. And of course, she was here just a couple of years ago. And the Ascension is like Jesus' coronation, as he finally sits on his throne. He has always been the king, but the Ascension is his public proclamation. He is being declared to be king of the world. And that should be a great reassurance to us, that though we don't know what's going on, our politicians don't know what's going on, the World Health Organization aren't entirely sure what's going on, Jesus Christ is sitting at the right hand of his Father, enthroned and ruling the world. He knows what is happening. He knows what will happen. He knows our hearts and our minds, how we're feeling, how we're worrying. He is guiding all things for the good of those who love him. After he provided purification for sins, Jesus sat down at the right hand of the Majesty in heaven. God bless you all.